Virgo, July 31st. I'm seeing it plain. You have been sitting in something that stopped feeding you a long time ago. The room still looks familiar. The routine still works on paper, but your body already clocked it. You feel done before you say it out loud. 8 of Cups. 8 of Cups is the walk out card. 8 of Cups says you leave the table when the meal is over, not when everybody else finally admits it. This card is about departure, disillusionment, and emotional release. You kept showing up to something that kept taking more than it gave. You answered the text. You kept the schedule. You made it look manageable. But the truth is, you were already halfway out. You knew this already. The move here is simple. Stop feeding what is empty. Stop calling it loyalty when it is just delay. Do not confuse comfort with fulfillment. Do not sit in a stale arrangement because it is known. Actually, no, let me rephrase that. You are not being asked to force a dramatic exit. You are being asked to honor the quiet one, the one where you stop sending the extra message. The one where you stop checking the thread, the one where you finally admit, I am done here. Death is the clean ending. Death is the part where the old version does not get a second chance. This card says the pattern has already expired, and trying to revive it only keeps you stuck in grief. You have outgrown the identity, the habit, the role, the arrangement. It does not fit your hands anymore. So what are you still carrying? What are you still trying to keep alive? Because it is familiar, because this matters. Death is not failure. Death is release. It is the moment you delete the thread and the stale agreement and let the old structure fall apart on purpose instead of waiting for it to collapse on you. The rebirth comes after the release, not before it. So if something feels irreversible good, that means you are not meant to keep negotiating with it. The High Priestess reversed. The High Priestess reversed is where the silence gets loud because you keep overriding yourself. The High Priestess reversed shows blocked intuition, hidden truths, and self-ignorance. You already felt the off note. You already noticed the delay, the mismatch, the little internal flinch. But then you covered it with logic. You called it patience. You called it being practical. You called it, I'm fine. Don't lie to yourself. That is the whole trap here. This card says, stop spiritualizing avoidance. Stop pretending the quiet means peace when your stomach has been warning you for weeks. Look at what you keep not naming. Look at what you keep explaining away. The answer is not in more noise. The answer is in the thing you keep refusing to admit. Slow down. Sit still long enough to hear the part of you that already knows. Because Virgo, the pull to leave is not random. It is your inner truth trying to get you out before the depletion gets deeper. Virgo, July 31st. I'm seeing the split now. One part of you already left. The other part is still sitting there, checking the door, pretending it has more time. You know what I mean. You kept the routine. You kept the conversation, you kept the plan, but the life in it, gone. And if you keep calling that loyalty, you're just delaying the moment you admit it's done. The Eight of Cups. This card is about walking away from something that stopped feeding you. The Eight of Cups is not dramatic. It's quiet. It's you closing the app. Not answering the text. Not going back to the same table expecting a different outcome. You stayed in the draining routine. You told yourself it was temporary. You told yourself you were being patient. Actually, no, you were being depleted. And the truth is, the longer you sit in what feels empty, the harder it gets to hear what still matters. The Seven of Cups. This card is where the mind starts making 1,000 little exits. The Seven of Cups shows options, fantasies, and too many emotional directions at once. You start scrolling. You start comparing. You start imagining the perfect outcome instead of choosing the real one. That confusion is not always deep intuition. Sometimes it is just avoidance wearing a pretty outfit. You keep thinking if you look at every possibility long enough, one of them will save you. But rescue is not the same thing as a decision. Pick one path, test it. Stop feeding every fantasy at the same time. The Death card. This card is the clean ending. The Death card says the old version is over and trying to revive it is costing you more than it gives. I'm seeing a pattern, a role, maybe even an identity you outgrew months ago. You already deleted the thread in your head. You already stopped caring the way you used to. So why are you still acting like it can be repaired? Let it end. Let it stay ended. That is not failure. That is release. And once you stop dragging dead weight, something real has room to show up. The High Priestess reversed. This card is where the inner voice gets buried under noise. The High Priestess reversed is not subtle because you are not listening. You are saying, I'm fine, when your body is clearly not fine. You are ignoring the gut feeling that keeps tapping your shoulder. You are calling silence wisdom when it is actually denial. Hold on. The issue is not that you do not know. The issue is that you already know and you do not want the consequences of admitting it. So you keep the secret from yourself. You keep pretending the discomfort will pass. It will not until you name it. Virgo, this moment is asking for a clean cut and a clean listen. Leave what is empty, stop entertaining every possibility, and what is finished. Then sit still long enough to hear what you have been avoiding. Because the next move is not hidden in the noise. It is sitting underneath it. I'm seeing Virgo at a point where the schedule is not the problem. The problem is the pile up. You said yes too many times. You kept the tabs open. You kept the thread alive, and now the whole thing is wobbling. Eight of Cups. This card is about the moment you know the routine is empty, but you still keep showing up. You keep answering. You keep checking. You keep walking back into something that already stopped feeding you. Behaviorally, I'm seeing you staying in a draining pattern because leaving means admitting it ran out a while ago. The exit has been sitting there. Seven of Cups. This card is the fog of options and it gets loud fast. You start looking at 5 plans, 6 outcomes, 7 reasons to wait. You scroll instead of choosing. You imagine rescue instead of making a move. Actually, no, let me rephrase that. 7 of Cups is not asking you to dream bigger. It is asking you to stop treating every possibility like a promise. Pick one path. The rest are noise. 2 of Pentacles reversed. This reversal is the spill. The bills, the messages, the deadlines, the favors, the extra task you said you could handle. Then another one. Then another one. Now you are covering one thing with another thing and calling it balance. That is not flexibility. That is overload. You missed the window because you were trying to keep everything in the air at once. Death. This card is the hard cut, not a soft fade, not a maybe later. Death is the ending that makes room. The stale arrangement ends. The old identity gets dropped. The thread gets deleted. The habit does not get a second life because you miss it. I'm seeing the part where you keep trying to revive what is already complete. Stop. Let it stay finished. That is where the release is. The High Priestess reversed. This reversal shows the inner signal getting buried under noise. You keep saying you are fine. You keep moving. You keep checking the facts, but you ignore the part of you that already felt the shift. Hold on. The High Priestess reversed is not about mystery. It is about self-avoidance. You know what feels off. You just keep walking past it because stopping would force a decision. So here is the moment. Too many options, too much strain, too many moving parts. The way out is not more juggling. It is less. One clean choice, one honest ending, one quiet admission that the old setup is done. And then you listen not to the chatter, not to the panic, to the part of you that has been trying to get your attention the whole time. Virgo, July 31st. This is where the floor gives out, not all at once, quietly. You keep stepping on the same weak spot, and now the whole structure is telling on itself. 8 of Cups. This card is about leaving after the feeling is already gone. 8 of Cups shows you the moment you keep showing up, but the room stopped feeding you. You answered the text, you did the shift, you kept the routine, but your body is already halfway out the door. The exit is not dramatic, it is practical. You stop pouring into what keeps coming back empty. 7 of Cups. This card is the fog after the exit. 7 of Cups shows up when you start scrolling, comparing, imagining 10 different outcomes and not touching one of them. Because this is where Virgo gets caught. You start organizing possibilities instead of choosing one path. You name the options, then you keep them all open so nothing can fail. Actually, no, that is not indecision. That is delay dressed up as flexibility. Pick the one thing you can actually do today. 2 of Pentacles reversed. This reversal is the wobble. 2 of Pentacles reversed means the juggling act is already slipping. You missed the deadline. You moved money around. You told people you were fine. Then the calendar proved you were not. This card is not asking you to be better at balancing chaos. It is asking you to drop something before it drops you. Cut the extra task, cancel the thing. Stop promising what your week cannot carry. 4 of Wands reversed. This reversal shows the home base is off. 4 of Wands reversed is the awkward table, the tense room, the celebration that feels forced because something unresolved is sitting in the corner. You walked in and acted normal. You smiled. You helped set up. But the space did not feel safe and you felt it in your bones. Stop fooling yourself. If the foundation is cracked, do not decorate over it. Fix the structure first, then talk about joy. Death, this card is the hard cut. Death is not a warning, Virgo. It is the ending that makes the next moment possible. You delete the thread, you clear the drawer, you end the arrangement that has already expired. This is where the old identity gets left behind, not because you failed, because you outgrew it. Let it go all the way. Do not keep a little piece of it just in case. That is how the old pattern survives. The High Priestess reversed. This reversal is the silence that comes after too much noise. The High Priestess reversed shows you ignoring the gut feeling because you want the plan to work. You keep saying, I'm fine. You keep moving past the discomfort. You keep calling confusion intuition when it is actually avoidance. Wait. Slow down. What keeps repeating? What feels off every time you touch it? That is the signal. Not the story, not the excuse, the signal. So this is simple, even if it is not easy. Leave the empty thing. Stop juggling what is already slipping. Admit the home base is unstable. End what is complete. Then listen. Because the intuition cannot get clear while the old structure is still screaming. July 31st, Virgo. Hold on. This is the chapter where the old setup can't keep talking over your gut. Eight of Cups, you left the room emotionally before you left it physically. You kept showing up, answering, doing the polite thing, but the inside of it went dead. You know the exact routine. Same messages, same empty loop, same part of you saying, I'm done, while your hands kept holding the thing together. Actually, no, not together. Just delayed. Seven of Cups. You kept looking at options instead of making one clean choice. You scrolled, you compared. You imagined the rescue version, the perfect version, the easier version. But the real world did not move because you pictured it harder. Seven of Cups says, stop feeding every possibility. Pick the one that matches your actual life, not the fantasy you use to avoid deciding. Two of Pentacles reversed. The juggling is failing now. Bills, favors, timing, messages, obligations, something got dropped. Maybe more than one thing. You said yes too fast, then had to patch the week together with panic and late replies. The Two of Pentacles reversed is not asking to be more flexible. It is asking you to stop pretending overload is a personality trait. Four of Wands reversed. Home does not feel clean here. The table looks set, but the atmosphere is off. People may be acting normal while the room is tense. Or you are smiling in a place that no longer feels like yours. This card reversed shows the fracture under the celebration. Don't force the photo. Don't perform belonging where the foundation keeps shaking. The Chariot, and now we get movement, not chaos direction. The Chariot says choose the lane and take the wheel. No more drifting between what you know and what you wish would happen. Lock the plan, make the call, send the message. Leave the arrangement. This is disciplined motion, not emotional guessing. You already knew that. Death, there it is. The ending, the clean cut. Death is not dramatic for drama's sake. It is the point where the old pattern stops being negotiable. That thread gets deleted. That stale agreement ends. That identity you were wearing because it was familiar, it goes. Let it go. Do not keep reviving what has already completed its cycle. The High Priestess reversed. Wait. This is the part where silence gets loud. The High Priestess reversed shows you have been overriding the signal. Saying you are fine, answering before you check in with yourself, pushing past the gut feeling because you wanted a cleaner story. This card reverse says the truth is not hidden out there. It is the thing you keep stepping over inside your own body. Slow down, notice what keeps bothering you. That is the clue. So this is simple, even if it is not easy. The structure has to end before intuition can speak clearly. Stop juggling what is already unstable. Stop romanticizing the unknown. Stop calling delay a plan. Make the cut. Choose the lane. Then listen. I'm seeing the drift tighten here. Virgo, this is the chapter where you stop pretending you can keep everything moving at once. The mess is getting too loud. The choice is getting too clear. 8 of Cups. This card is about walking away from what keeps you emotionally empty. 8 of Cups says you have already outgrown the routine, the conversation, the arrangement, the thing you already outgrew, the version of life you keep showing up for out of habit. You keep checking it, hoping it will feel different. It doesn't, you already knew that. The move is simple now. Leave what is done. Stop calling it loyalty when it is just delay. 7 of Cups. This card is about too many options, too many fantasies, and too many places to hide. 7 of Cups shows you scrolling, comparing, imagining rescue, and not picking one real path. Actually, no, let me rephrase that. You are not confused because there is no answer. You were already shown that it was too many options, not enough truth. You are confused because you want every answer to stay open. That is not the same thing. Sort the facts from the wish list. Pick the one thing that is real enough to act on. 2 of Pentacles reversed. This reversal is the overload. 2 of Pentacles reversed shows the drop text, the missed deadline, the late bill, the load you keep pretending is fine, the week that got overbooked because you said yes before you looked at the calendar. You are not balancing. You are absorbing impact. Don't kid yourself. Something has to come off the table. Reduce the load first, then see what is still standing. Four of Wands reversed. This reversal points to the home base that doesn't hold, the place that is supposed to feel safe, but doesn't. 4 of Wands reversed shows the awkward gathering, the tense house, the smile that doesn't match the room. You are trying to celebrate while something underneath is still cracked. Hold on. You do not fix that by performing happiness harder. You fix it by naming what feels off. Build the foundation before you decorate the outcome. The Chariot. This card is the turn. The Chariot brings discipline. The Chariot says take the wheel, stop drifting, and move with one clean direction. This is not about forcing life. It's about choosing where your energy goes and not letting it scatter every 5 minutes. Final call, final lane. Final plan. When you stop splitting yourself, momentum comes back fast. Death. This card is the ending that makes the rest of the moment possible. Death is not asking for a soft exit. Death is asking for release. The old pattern is finished. This is what ends so you can move. The stale thread is done. The identity that kept you surviving is not the one that gets to lead now. Let it go cleanly. If you keep trying to revive what is complete, you delay your own rebirth. The High Priestess reversed. This reversal shows the inner knowing you keep talking over. The High Priestess reversed points to the gut feeling you keep shelving because it is inconvenient. You say you are fine. You act like the silence means peace. It doesn't. The silence is where you are avoiding yourself. Slow down. Notice what feels off before it gets louder. That discomfort is not random. So the moment lands here. Disciplined movement replaces drift. You cut the dead weight. You choose one path. And you stop making fear look like uncertainty. Choose the path that matches your truth, not your fear. Okay. That's all I've got for now. If this hit, you already know what to do. Please subscribe, tell your group chat. I'll see y'all soon.